Hi, welcome to Oh Heavens, where we're looking at what happens when we all get to heaven, as the song says. And that's not an easy answer, by the way, because there's a lot of things that begin to unfold as we start talking about heaven and what's going to happen, and that piece of history that gets us to that moment as we move into that eternity with Jesus. And one of the things specifically we're looking at right now is the millennium. And so today's question, I teased in our previous episode, what happens when the millennium comes to a close, when the end of the 1,000 years arrives? Well, according to Revelation chapter 20, verses 7 through 10, Satan is going to be loosed for a season of rebellion at the end of the millennium. Now, it's a short season, no doubt about it. Because when that is done, then Satan will be cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, and that's where he's going to stay for eternity, and that's where he will remain. And Satan no longer is in the picture of history as we know it. The great white throne of judgment will also take place at the close of the millennium. But believers aren't present at this judgment, because the purpose of this judgment is not to determine who is lost or saved. Rather, all who have rejected Christ throughout history will be judged according to their works in front of the great white throne of judgment. And on that day, those whose names do not appear in the book of life will also be cast into the lake of fire. That comes in Revelation chapter 20. And so, for every person who's ever lived who has rejected Jesus, there is a judgment day that awaits them. And the end result of that judgment day will be they will be cast into the lake of fire along with Satan, where they will remain. No reprieves, no more second chances, no more opportunities. Those days have all passed. All that's left is judgment. Now, if you're a follower of Jesus, the great news is you're not going to stand before that great white throne of judgment, and you're not going to be judged, and you know you're not going to that lake of fire and brimstone for the rest of eternity. But what happens at the end of the millennium is the last gasp of evil in the presence of Almighty God. Oh heavens, it will be a terrifying day for some. And yet, if you're a follower, a great day of celebration, because it's another moment where we're reminded of what we have been freed from and saved from by the love of Jesus. A lot to look forward to. And we'll continue our look at heaven in our next episode.